Welcome to ComeonyespursTV. We are previewing the World Cup final at Qatar 2022. We've had a fantastic tournament so far, and today to review this amazing tournament with me, I've got Chuma and I've got Yinka, but they will be joining us in just a few seconds. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs! Welcome back. Ah, gosh, what a World Cup we've had. Welcome to ComeonyespursTV. If you're joining for the first time, we're here to talk about everything Spurs. That's what the channel is about. If you're here for the first time, please subscribe. Click on the subscribe button to, of course, subscribe, and then, of course, comment, like, and share with your network. If you also need to get notified anytime we go live, you click on the notification bell button. With me today, I've got Yinka and I've also got Chuma. Yinka is, I think this is the second time on the program, isn't it?
Second time.
Yes, thank you for coming. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I must have not been that bad the first time for you to invite me back, so it's a pleasure to be back on the on the station again. I thought I'd ruined my debut, you know. So I'm happy that my debut went to plan, and I'm back for maybe a second crack at this.
Well, let's not go into too much detail there. We'll give it away if we do that. But it's great to have you back. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
And I call Chuma our resident guru, you know. And yes, Chuma, how are you?
Well, unpaid regular guru, if I may say so myself. Unpaid.
Oh, you're
as of yet.
But hold on a minute. Like, I still haven't received my check as well. What's going on? Like, I was paid last time.
There are things happening.
Let me keep my mouth closed.
No, but it's been a great World Cup. It's been a World Cup full of upsets. Teams that we expected to do things didn't do exactly what we expected them to do, and yeah, we thought it would be irritating having a World Cup in November, but then all of a sudden we started enjoying it because everyone really enjoys football. So it's been a good World Cup. It's been a great World Cup actually.
It has been amazing actually. I mean, I think it's, I mean, overall, of course we'll do a review of the World Cup overall later, but I mean, let's just look how we got here in the first place. I mean, I know we had amazing matches to get to this point. I mean, the semi-final matchups, well, I guess on form, some would say that was probably what was the expected outcome, given the matches for the teams. And it's almost seems like what you might call the dream final, if you like, for the teams involved, the pedigree, the matchups, and the superstars, if you like. You got France and Argentina. I mean, France, reigning world champions. I think, who won Copa America? Was it Uruguay?
Argentina.
Argentina, yeah.
Argentina did. Reigning champions.
Right, reigning champions of Copa America. So yeah, so it's quite a big matchup. I mean, coming up to the World Cup, I mean, Argentina hadn't lost any matches. They hadn't lost about 36 matches, you know. And the only blot on the copybook was against lowly Saudi Arabia, and in their opening match of the World Cup, and everyone thought, oh, you know, it's going pear-shaped for sudden Mr. Messi, but kudos to them, they managed to turn it around. I mean, and we're here today. They're in the final. France, I guess, in many ways, a lot of people have. Can we pause this for a second? Technology does all sorts of funny tricks on you when you're doing this recordings. But yeah, we were talking about the World Cup, and yeah, Yinka, you were saying something.
In regards to, I can't remember.
Okay, so we're talking about the World Cup and how
it's turned out, the teams and everything.
Yeah, how
it's turned out for you in terms of like upsets.
Oh right, the World Cup. The World Cup has been, with, you know, it's been uncharted territory, man. it's been uncharted territory for the fans, the teams, you know, and so we had to navigate something that's never been navigated before. And it's been, as a product and as a tournament, it's been one of the best in my memory. So yeah, kudos to the Qataris. They pulled it off. They pulled it off, literally.
Absolutely. I mean, all of the fears that a lot of people had about how the outcome was going to, what it was.
Whether there'll be protests and whether there'll be this, and you know, will players be safe? Will fans be safe? All that nonsense has, you know, been thrown out the window, and we've lit. You know, in fact, there's been very few World Cups where there's been no controversy, like the Maradona drug scandal, or the Luis Suarez biting, or the kick from Maradona, or the handball from Maradona. Maradona's got so many controversies around him, to be honest, when it comes to World Cup. But yeah, all in all, when you think about it, there's been not really much controversy, off the field controversy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably the American journalist dying. That's the only thing that's happened in this World Cup that's really shocking. Grant Wall died, yeah.
And what happened to them? They went home like this. They couldn't talk.
Oh, you mean
they went home silent, man.
Germans.
You mean the Germans?
Me, I'm not the greatest fan of the Germans. No.
Yeah. So I mean, we had a plenty of what I call plenty of politics pre the World Cup. You know, I mean, in terms of all of the human rights record of Qatar. But listen, most important thing is that it's a football for us, and yeah, I mean, all of the some people go that, look, if you're so incensed about how bad you think it was, don't go, you know.
Don't turn up. Don't turn up.
You know,
don't turn up.
Yeah,
don't turn up.
People turned up, and yeah, there's always been, I mean, every time there's, like I said, there's always been controversy of one sort or another, but the football has just been absolutely amazing. I mean, we're here today, and we've got France and we've got Argentina in the World Cup final. Now, when was the last time we had a Europe South America contest in the final? Remind me, somebody.
That would be, that's good. Let's have to click on it. That was, what was the last one?
Was that Argentina and Holland?
2014. Germany.
1990.
Germany, Argentina, 2014. Yeah.
2014.
Oh, yeah, and 2014. Excuse me. They've had 3 World Cup finals together. Wow.
Yes,
they
have. They have. I think possibly, yeah. That's possibly
86, 90, and 2014.
Yeah. And the 2014 one was supposed to be Messi's great thing, but then he had Higuain in front of him, who scoffed several chances. But yeah, that was supposed to be Messi's one.
That was supposed to be his pinnacle of his career.
Right. So
yeah. And to have done it while Maradona was alive as well.
Yeah.
On Brazilian turf.
On Brazilian turf, exactly. You
know?
Brazilian
God
soil.
Forbid. Yeah. God forbid that you know the prayers that Brazilians must have been praying that day. You know, they must have done night vigil, everything to make sure that this guy is not going to win the World Cup on their turf. But he went and done it with the. He done it with the. He done it anyway, didn't he?
He done it in Copa America.
He done it with the Copa America. That's right.
America. He won it on their soil.
Yeah.
So, where are we? So we've got. Well, this is not the first time we have teams in consecutive World Cup finals. I mean, there's been Brazil, there's been France, there's been Argentina. There's been Netherlands, who have all been in consecutive World Cup finals. But this year we have what? Argentina. Essentially, Messi's Argentina. You know, this is like the swan song for Messi. I mean, I think this is the last World Cup. Amazing talent. I mean, if we're gonna go into Messi, I mean, we're probably gonna have a whole program on Messi, because it's just immense. I mean, I know you're a great fan, Chuma.
No, the thing is, I love. Maybe that's because we're Spurs fans. I love flair players. Anytime I open my mouth at work and start talking, they go, "Oh, yeah, he's a Spurs guy. He doesn't want to win. He wants to play beautiful football." But you look at Argentina, and I mean, they've tried. Diego Maradona's shadow was so huge on that country. And every player, I remember great players. Like I loved Riquelme, I love Pablo Aimar. These are guys I really loved watching play football. And none of them could really galvanize the nation the way Messi has. And yeah, it's I think it's long overdue for him. And it's so
Mm,
reminiscent of Diego right now because he's in a good squad. But there's something about watching their games and seeing Messi being the one really
mm.
pushing everyone forward. And I think it's as much as you may not love him or like him or understand the hype sometimes, you just have to bow to the fact that this guy gets the job done and he's moving now. His legacy is I don't think it's his body, I don't think it's his mind. The guy's just thinking legacy and he wants to win and end this whole thing for his country as well as himself. So yeah, I think it's an exciting final.
I agree in that Chuma, in regards there's two things that for me personally that stand out. The first thing was the Ronaldo Messi R7 versus Messi. That debate has raged for a whole decade. Who is the best amongst them? And we come into this World Cup, most probably both players on their last dance, both players on their last tango or flamenco if you're Portuguese. And it's come to a point now that coming into the tournament, Ronaldo just messed up his whole kind of like legacy, like with the whole Man United issue, with the whole Portuguese issue that was going on, getting dropped to the bench, pouting and doing his whole and Messi had just been getting on with the job. And I'm a CR7 fan. I love CR7, but the way that Messi has shone through in this tournament has really made me think that this guy's the one. Like he's the guy. The second thing is the similarity between 1986 and 2022. 1986, we had him in Mexico, as you say, Diego Maradona was surrounded by a team of maybe largely unknown players, especially to people in Europe, of players around him. Although there was great players around him in that team that got him to that final, it's seen as Diego Maradona's final. Okay. Now, in regards to Messi 2020, we've got players from Aston Villa, Villarreal, Atlanta United, and even the wonderful Spurs that are supporting this guy in his quest to be, a world champion. And it's beautiful to see the synergy between 86 and 2022 of Diego Maradona and Messi really at the helm of their teams and leading their teams to glory. And, there's a beautiful synergy amongst these two runs that they've had in the tournament.
I
Sunday
actually
will tell whether he comes through or not.
Yeah, but if you think about he has a lot of unsung heroes like I said. I mean, you look at Alvarez. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, Alvarez hasn't really set City alight. I guess he's playing in the shadow of a certain Mr. Haaland, isn't he? So
the alien.
So I call him an android.
There you go. So it's a little
bit robot.
And so he's got a good team around him, but you still have him as the leader.
Sorry for cutting you, Soji, but I would just like to pay tribute to Yinka for saying the word Ronaldo to CR7 because I'm guessing he's a fan of Brazilian Ronaldo as well. He said CR7 Ronaldo. Is what I do.
I'm a fan of Fat Ronaldo. You see Ronaldo's belly in the World Cup. I thought, wow. Ronaldo's belly in the World Cup. You see what they just showed him the other day? I thought this guy is Fat Ronaldo all the way, man. I love Fat Ronaldo. No one can beat R9, man.
No, but that's I go CR7. I either call him Cristiano Ronaldo or I never like to call him Ronaldo. I like to call him Cristiano Ronaldo or CR7. I never write Ronaldo. I've seen Ronaldo. So when I heard you say you just switched, I said, yes, you're in that team as well. It's like Fat Ronaldo is the real Ronaldo.
Fat Ronaldo is the real Ronaldo. You can't beat Fat Ronaldo, man.
So tell me, I mean, what do you think of this team are supporting Messi? Chuma.
Well, you know what? I think his team is better than what Diego had. Like Yinka was saying, like Diego's team had like, and that's when I first started following football properly. So he only had like Valdano. Valdano played at Real Madrid. That was the only person. The rest of them were like journeyman players. Buruchaga moved to Real Madrid after the World Cup. Most of them played locally. Most of them played in Argentina. Who else? One other player played in France. So he had no one, but this team actually has very, very good players. Like you're looking at Lisandro Martinez at the back now. Otamendi, who we already know, came to England, didn't really do that great. He's in Benfica now. Romero, who we know he's bordering on world class if you think about it, but the injuries have sort of held him back.
When he decides to turn up for work,
decent. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. his midfield is decent. The thing about it is there are these guys in that team right now, young players in that Argentinian team that should they win this World Cup, or even for this experience that they're having, those boys are going to be real killers. That Enzo Fernandez in midfield, Alvarez up front. There are some guys there. You're looking Montiel on the right. You're looking at these guys. They're like late teens, early 20s, and these guys.
Even McAllister. McAllister has been a revelation of this tournament.
McAllister, yeah. You know, you're looking at all these guys, and they're gaining from this thing. So it's like, yeah.
Well, someone tell me something, right? Is McAllister background English? As in, is it English by birth?
Oh, yeah. So you know, but you know the thing, the minors. So in South America, lots of the miners were Welsh and Scottish. So they moved over to mine. They used to take over the mines. So you have people with Welsh names. You have, for want of a better word, ginger South Americans up and down the place. McAllister said there was a guy during Diego Maradona's time. There was a guy who had red hair. I can't remember his name. He was in the '94 World Cup. He had red hair, and he had an English name as well. Yeah, he was a ginger. Yeah, and we're like, a ginger Argentinian. Like, how does that work? And he was. He had a German name. He had a German name, actually. Sorry, it was a German name. He had a German name, and he was Argentinian.
My brother, a ginger Argentinian is almost as rare as a black Frenchman, isn't it? Or as a white Frenchman.
African French, the French national team.
Africa winning this World Cup, no matter how, isn't it?
So here we go. I mean, we have what? I mean, how did we even get here in the first place? I mean, if you look at the semi-final matchup we had France, Morocco. The dream for Morocco to be the first African team to reach the final, and of course, I mean, the Argentina-Croatia match was already billed as a Messi versus Modric final. Both swansong contenders, if you like, you know. And I mean, Argentina came out on top. Now, I was saying off air, you know, and we had the results as this. So we had Argentina. Well, its scoreline looked like 3-0. Oh, it was 3-0. However, but the match didn't look like a 3-0 match, you know, because for very long periods at the beginning, we had Argentina being pegged back a lot by Croatia. And they didn't really create any chances until when they had what I call that dodgy penalty. You can talk me through that penalty incident. we've had our discussions off air about that. Tell me, what did you think?
You caught me mid cookie. You caught me mid cookie. I had a cookie in my mouth. I almost choked on my cookie when you said it was when you said, look, this is my thing about this semi-final. We had Croatia. A team has been there, done it. Old heads, they've got the T-shirt, they've got the Champions League winners and the lot. But I think the problem with Croatia was they got to the final with like 4 hours of football in their legs compared to the Argentina. You know, they'd gone from penalties and extra time, round after round after round. And by the time they got to the semis, I think they were more or less cooked by the time they got there. And they didn't have that next gear to go to. In regards of the penalty, if that foul takes place in any other part of the pitch, the referee would blow for a free kick. As my brother Chuma said, if that had happened to us at the Lane in the last minute of the Champions League semi-final and that penalty was given against us, we would be waiting for that referee on Tottenham High Road for him to come out of that stadium. The fact is that if it's our team, it's a penalty. If it's not our team, then we will be mad because it was such a close call in regards to the player had some savvy in it. We can't get it wrong. Alvarez, was it Alvarez that won the penalty?
Very smart boy.
He had some savvy.
Alvarez,
he had some savvy to know that I don't have to move. If this guy collides into me, then it's gonna be a infringement. On the behalf of the Croatian goalkeeper, who I thought has been excellent during this tournament, once he'd missed that ball, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
He's in trouble. There's nothing he can do. And if it happened on any other part of the pitch, the referee would blow for a free kick. It just happened to be in the penalty box, so he had no real choice. I feel for Croatia because I don't think that they were that way worse or Argentina was that much better to them up to that point. And even, did you see Luka Modric that game? Oh my God. Luka Modric was playing ball. He was doing things that I'm thinking, for a 37-year-old to be doing on the pitch in a World Cup semi-final, it was almost like his pièce de résistance. He was brilliant. And I thought that also Perisic was okay, but they just ran out of legs. They couldn't go out next gear when they went a goal down. There was no, you realise that there was no centre forward for them. There was no one to in the final third to make the difference.
That's the thing. That's the thing for me. The thing for me is the final third. Yeah, no, I said the thing for me is the final third.
Go ahead, yeah.
Croatia have all these brilliant midfield players. They had Kovacic, Brozovic, and Modric. Modric is a Jedi master. Modric is moving around, finding pockets of space, collecting the ball. But they had nobody up front that you could say, we put this on a plate, or the guy can make a chance out of something. And it's the final third that they lack. And Argentina, on the other hand, just needed to funnel that ball to Messi. And young Alvarez had the legs to go in, out, and so yeah, it's what Argentina had, they didn't have.
Exactly. And did you notice something very crucial that happened at the end of the first half that I thought was quite telling? So if you remember back in 2018, they did have someone up front. His name was Mandzukic. And that was their focal point in their attack. I was thinking, where's Mandzukic? Where is he? Like, is he not in the squad? He's not that old compared to the rest of them. They're all old. They might as well bring Mandzukic as well. But I found that Mandzukic was actually sent off at the interval of half time. That means that he couldn't play the second half. Even if they wanted to throw him on as a, throw a big lump up forward, up front and lock the ball up to him, he was actually sent off with one of the coaches because they were protesting that controversial penalty in the first half.
Protesting the penalty. Yeah.
So it was one of those little things that maybe might have passed under the radar that I thought to myself, that's another ace up their sleeve that they're not able to play because, unfortunately, he's been sent off. And I think that if they had maybe a Mandzukic in the last 20 minutes, second half, to change the game for them, because as Juma was saying, there was no one in the final third with all their build-up play with Kovacic, with Perisic and so on and so forth, that they couldn't get there. And then we have the second goal. And off air, we were talking, was that second goal lucky? And to the naked eye, yes, it does seem like a lucky goal, with Soji saying that it took a couple of deflections, it came off the guy's face, it came off another guy's bum, it hit his foot, then got into, and with a nice. But I think that there were certain elements to that goal that didn't make it lucky. One was the positivity of the run of Alvarez. Secondly, was the positivity of the run by, I forget the name of the right back, who made a run right across the defense that took the attention away from Alvarez at that time, that gave him the space to make that luck. So I think elements happened that were not unlucky, but obviously the ricochets of the ball fell their way. And like any good striker, if the opportunity comes, you've got to take. You've seen in this World Cups are decided on moments and opportunities. You have to take your moment. Whether it's lucky or not, it was a good finish.
So Argentina got lucky in quotes, right?
But then there was no luck in the third goal.
Right, that third goal.
Chuma, take it away.
Chuma, take me.
The third goal. Messi.
I know there are people who are talking about values being wiped off, of players' values being decimated in one fell swoop.
We were saying that this Gaviol came in the game worth 100 million and left the game worth about 10, isn't it?
Well, no, exact. Remember, okay, so if we go back, let's go back to Spurs' quest for a left centre back in the back three. I gave you 3 names. I gave you Josko Gvardiol, I gave you Alessandro Bastoni, and I gave you Benoit Badiashile, the French boy from Monaco. These are my 3 candidates for Spurs left centre back.
Oh, so you called it before the World Cup?
Of them,
you called it before the World Cup?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I watched Josko Gvardiol. I watched Josko Gvardiol play for Dynamo Zagreb when he was 17 years old. I watched him play for Croatia under 21s. I saw this left centre back that could just move. And I was like, this guy is going to be great. Then he joined Leipzig.
Points on the ball.
Brilliant.
He can pass out the back. He's big.
He's wearing a mask on his face, which is uncomfortable. Son will tell you that mask on his face, he damages cheekbone. It's difficult. And this boy is just elegance personified on the pitch. He's an elegant left centre back, and he's got grit as well. So to see him come out to meet Messi at a point, I said to myself, he's either going to take Messi out or he's going to shield Messi or move him to his right foot. And Messi took this boy, came back again, and he was done. Messi put him in the matrix. It was over. Now, the only thing he could do would be to foul Messi for another penalty kick or let Messi through. Messi pulled it back. Alvarez, right place, right time. He's a goal hanger. Someone said Alvarez is a combination of Aguero and Tevez. He has the build of Tevez, and he has that boisterous thing Tevez has, but he's also a killer. The same way you look at. There's one of the goals he scored in one of the games where the way he shuffled it to his right foot quickly and took the shot. That's only people like Aguero that think like that. Yeah, so once Messi killed Gvardiol, 100 million pounds to 100 million lira. That's what I saw on Twitter. 100 million lira. Lira doesn't exist anymore.
I hear in the news that unfortunately he's still lost in the multiverse in Qatar as well. They're still trying to find him in the multiverse. Because
he's still chasing Messi.
Do you know what? There's some things that we see in the game of football in the World Cup that are moments and iconic moments. You think of the Johan Cruyff turn. You think of the Maradona run of '86. You think of the skill that I think Pele was doing when he rounded the keeper and didn't touch the ball in Mexico 1970. And this run that Messi produced against Croatia in the semi-finals will be remembered for an age. I called it the Rosario Tango because he took that poor kid for a dance. Man. Like if that was his last dance, he took him for a really good dance. He was spinning around.
I like that. The Rosario Tango. I like that.
He gave him the shuffle
I like that.
Good night.
Right.
Oh,
so,
it's just one of those things. You could dispute the first 2 goals, and Soji, of course, disputes both, but he had to give it up for the third. The third was, and remember, I predicted 1-0. So if you discount those 2, Soji is still my 1-0, and still Messi deciding. So
once again, do you see the synergy? Do you see the synergy with 86 and 22? When Maradona played England, 1 goal was lucky, handball. The other goal was brilliant. And I think that's the same thing of just a little bit of synergy again, that maybe this is the story for Messi, is that we see those 2 kind of similarities in their run where they needed that luck, but they also needed that brilliance. And that was displayed in the game against Croatia.
I'll add to your synergy, unless I'm mistaken, and any of the people viewing this can check up for me. In '86, the semi-final, I think Argentina beat Belgium 3-0, or unless I'm mistaken. They beat Belgium 3-0 and then made the final. So 3-0 again, You're looking at that.
With amazing, if you remember, there was an amazing assist by Maradona in that game as well. There was a wonderful assist in that.
Defenders came to him.
Yeah. So no, you've seen the assist that is made in this World Cup, along with his goals. Like that has been the power of Messi in this. Is not just his end product finishing, but his final third decision making and he's made so many decisive passes for goals and for assists that, you know, I think one of the commentators said that how did he even make that pass? That it was, you know, it's one of these impossible passes that he made, nutmeg the player and saw the blind-sided run. And, you know, he's just seeing pictures at the moment, Messi. He is playing at the top of his game. But without his supporting cast, it don't mean nothing because he can't play 11 men by himself.
This is it. This is it. So, yeah, so Messi in his Dream World Cup final. Second World Cup final is in. The first one was in 2014 against, was it Germany? And, of course, he lost in that one. And, yeah, like you were saying earlier on, we had Higuain, who didn't quite help out in that match as you would have expected. But he has a big chance this time around to make amends, you know. But they're coming up against a French team who had to get past a spirited Morocco game. I mean, a team. And that semi-final, even though the results came out like this, I mean, came out with 2-0. However, that's not the story of the match at all. Because,
no, not at all.
You know,
I called this match Morocco versus France. The defenders versus the defending. Morocco had not conceded a goal from another team other than an own goal throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah.
France were defending their championship status. I thought Morocco played a blinding game against France. But unfortunately, as I say, games are made in moments, and France took their opportunities. They took it, and do you know what it was? Their defense was so excellent up until that last game. You know, you had players that were playing with cramp, they were playing with injuries, they were playing with a depleted defense. And when that player was taken out I think it was in the warm-up or just even, no, it's even worse, it was after the national anthem.
Yeah,
imagine the player he pulled his back muscle in the national anthem. Imagine. The guy was singing so hard, he pulled his hamstring. And they had to take him out of the defense. And that was his, you know, both of the centre halves were injured.
Yeah.
So their two main centre halves were injured, and they had to play with one that was like 50% fit. Imagine Giroud. Slow Giroud was cooking this guy like this. And I was like, no, they've got no chance. And that was the problem, was that they relied on their defenders, but they just run out of high-quality, able defenders. We saw Amrabat. I thought Amrabat was absolutely outstanding all tournament. I thought their number 8, forgive me. In fact, they were my 2 best midfielders. In fact, the whole tournament, they were my 2 best midfielders. Their number 8 played like a number 8, and their number 4 played like a number 4. He was the perfect combination. Oh, yes, sir, yeah. He was brilliant. He didn't get a lot of watch this game. I was like, this guy is box to box, proper box to box midfielder, you know? And then they had Hakimi. Hakimi, look, Kyle Walker, he kept Mbappe quiet, yeah? Kyle Walker's was, but Hakimi done the same as well. Mbappe hardly got yes, he set up the
second goal.
The second goal. Yeah. But up to then, I think he kept him quiet.
Yeah, but don't forget the teammates at PSG.
I would expect him to, yes. He plays them every week.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
He must know a little bit about him as well.
You're right about that. Yeah, you're right about the French. For me, I felt the Moroccan coach set up slightly negatively, and then they had to play. That's the thing. Yeah. I felt if he had matched up toe-to-toe in a weird way, they could have done something. And then they now were chasing that goal by Hernandez, you know, that happened. And they were still in the game. And I think Morocco's problem as well, they're not clinical. The same as you could say Croatia.
Yeah, they didn't have that number 9.
Yeah, they didn't have that guy. They didn't have that guy. They had it everywhere else apart from right in the French third. And then the unsung hero for France, for me, very underrated through this World Cup. And he's a guy I've always liked, but I don't think he's really universally loved, is Antoine Griezmann. Griezmann was very interesting in this game. He reminded me of what Thomas Muller does for Bayern Munich. Thomas Muller is one of these guys. He's not a striker. He's not a midfielder. He's just the everywhere man. They call him the everywhere man. And that's what Griezmann was.
I think
Griezmann was showing up in pockets in attack, showing up in defense, showing up in midfield, tracking back, and Griezmann was just the glue. He was just this guy. He kept on, his foot came in at the right. When the cross came in from Hakimi, he just, bam, he was anticipating things that he shouldn't have. Like, normal basis, that would have fallen to a Moroccan player, but he knew exactly what a striker would want. So he'd go there and collect the ball. Little touches in and out. He wasn't doing anything outstanding. But if you watch that game, I think it was Didier Drogba that made the comment on for BBC, and he said he would be surprised to see the amount of like miles or kilometers covered in a game that Griezmann did in that semi. And I would say the same thing. Griezmann did a lot of dirty work, clean work, you know. So
yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you in regards of who I think myself personally is one of the MVPs of the actual World Cup tournament. Has to be Griezmann for me. He has to be in the top 3 MVPs for the tournament because, and Chuma said that word that is very underrated. The glue guy. This is the reason why he plays 77 or 78 games consecutively for France, and why Didier Deschamps picks him game international after international after international, because he knows the role, he knows the job, he knows where to be at the right. He was clearing balls off the line. He was doing last-ditch tackles in that game. He was doing things that he was seeing things on the pitch that other players weren't seeing. And I think the most important piece to the French run has been Didier Deschamps. And I think he has cemented himself as the best, if not one of the best ever international managers and coaches that have been. Because the success that he's had since he's taken over France, winning the World Cup, winning the Nations, or getting them to finals and getting them to semi-finals, being a world force. And what he's been very clever in doing, I think that one of his major things is that when he loses a world-class player, he finds a world-class player to take their place. I never heard of this guy, Tosemi, that came to take Pogba's place, but he looks better than Pogba in this tournament. He looks better than Pogba. He's got a better engine than Pogba. He's got a better burst than Pogba that I'm seeing. It's just been amazing how he's managed to compensate. I think they've lost 5 major key players in this run, France.
Yeah, no. The funny part is they lost players pre-World Cup that would kill any other side. You're looking at Christopher Nkunku, top scorer in Germany, lost Benzema.
Lost Kante.
Then the first game you lose Lucas Hernandez, starting left back for Bayern Munich, gone.
Can you believe that Coman not even feature in this team?
Easily, Coman is a substitute.
He's not even featuring. He probably played one match.
I think that's been the quality of Deschamps, is that he's had probably most to contend with out of all the national teams that are contending for the cup to kind of compensate. But he's found the answers, and his substitutions were spot on. His substitutions were at the right time, the right player, at the right circumstances. Not many managers have got it right. He made that substitution, and within 2 minutes, that substitute scored. Southgate.
Southgate. We just have to mention
that. And that's the quality of an international manager. At that time, Morocco were getting back in the game. At that time, Morocco were, throwing everything forward. And he just saw the answers to it, took the right players off. He took off Dembele. And then brought on what's his Varane. No, the son of Thuram. Yeah, he brought him on. He made the difference. You could see every player that came on. And it's not just been in this game. It's been throughout the whole tournament. It's been like that, where his substitutes have made a difference. It's not the first time. French substitutes have been scoring, and French substitutes have been making difference. So that comes down to the manager, and that comes down to the coach.
It certainly does. It certainly does. Now, it's been an amazing run up to the final for both teams. I mean, given the fact that, what's the word? Argentina lost their opening match. France lost one match against Tunisia, which was a nothing match really, but I mean, it was a statement.
It wasn't nothing for the Tunisians, though.
Exactly, absolutely. It was another Colonial. But it was a big thing.
Yeah, they wanted to beat France.
So yeah, I mean, that was but it tells you that in the World Cup, anything can happen. Now, we're looking for a final where you got Mbappe. Mbappe has been absolutely phenomenal up to now. I mean, what we have what um 5 goals so far. He has
Five
same number
goals
of
and
goals
two
as
assists. If they don't,
Two assists.
give him the assist for the last game,
yes.
No,
so it will be 3 if they award him that one. But I don't think they awarded it to him. So that's why Messi is ahead of him in terms
you're
of getting
correct.
the golden
You're
boot.
correct.
But
Yeah,
Messi's got
Right. How many goals has Messi
assists.
scored so far? 5 goals as well.
five and three
Five,
assists,
five, yeah, 5 as well, and 3
Right.
assists.
So
and Giroud has got 5.
it's a big matchup in this time round. But I mean, Argentina are not Morocco, you know. So at the same time, France are no Croatia, you know. So I think it's gonna be a tough match. It's gonna be a real tough final. I who's gonna stick their neck out and give me something in terms of what they consider to be the outcome for this, because Argentina France
Yeah,
World Cup final in Doha, Qatar, 2022.
yeah,
Messi versus
yeah,
Mbappe. That's what is being billed as. But
yeah.
however, there's so many matchups across the park. For me, I think Griezmann is going to play a crucial part in this match. You know, like you said earlier on, he was been absolutely amazing up to now. He's been, I mean, phenomenal, phenomenal. I never really rated him before now, but now seeing him in this World Cup, it's just been a revelation for me. You know, because I kind of always felt that it was overrated. You know, but the things that he's been doing in this World Cup against England, I mean, I don't even want to remember what he did against England. It was just absolutely, I mean, unreal, you know. And I think it's played an amazing part in getting up to this point, you know. One of these underrated folks, you could like, or unsung heroes, if you like. But I think he's been absolutely phenomenal, like we all agree earlier on. So numbers, scores, predictions. Tell me, Inga, you go first.
Oh man. Um, First thing, yeah, Argentina and France. As you mentioned, Soji, they have both suffered in this tournament.
Yep.
That's so important going into a game like this, is that they've suffered. The Argentinians have had their pants pulled down and spanked by the Saudis. The French have had their pants pulled down and spanked by the Tunisians. The French, actually, I don't think have dominated a game fully in this whole tournament. They've always had a half where the other team has actually been on top. England should have taken their chances and, anyway, we won't go back to there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got a bit of trauma. I've got a bit of trauma that's just passing through me. Give me a second. Harry Kane. Anyway, yeah. So, don't you guys still feel it though? Don't you feel it? That trauma of like seeing what you saw. Hey, man.
For me, Harry, I want Harry to come back with a chip on his shoulder to kill.
He could go both ways,
kill on his mind.
He could come back. He could come back with brain fog, or he could come back with anger and want to do well for it. He could go either way.
I think
it's so delicate.
I think of Beckham in '98. Beckham came back after that, and every stadium in this country chanted against that boy and his soon-to-be wife.
One point, I know we shouldn't mention his name on his channel. One point, I know we shouldn't mention his name on his channel, but you see how Saka took the criticism and the backlash from missing that penalty in the Euros, and how much of a better player he is this season for it. I'm hoping Kane being more elder, mature player, he'll be better for it. But going back to this game, because both teams have suffered, both teams have gone through the mill. Has France had a penalty shootout in this tournament? No. I don't think they have. Argentina have had a penalty shootout. I don't think France have. And I think
France haven't, no.
It's going to go, I've got a feeling it's going to go down to penalties, you know. And then Hugo Bossman is going to come through and he's going to save the winning penalty. And he's going to be the first captain. Remember, Hugo Lloris is the first Spurs player to appear in 2 World Cup finals. And he could also be the first Spurs player to win 2 World Cup finals and the only ever captain to lift the trophy twice. So there's so much riding on Hugo Lloris in this particular game that there's something in me that if Argentina, both sides, like, I don't mind. Like, I'm not invested in either team, but I want Hugo Lloris to be, and that'll shut up a lot of Tottenham fans that think that why is he captain of our club? It will shut them. He would have won the World Cup twice, and then people still complaining why is he captain on our club? Because there must be something that he's doing right that makes him captain. So France penalties. There you go.
Okay. France penalties.
Hugo
Lloris coming home with the second winners medal, and on top of that, he becomes the world record. What's the word? Leading appearances for France. You know.
Wow!
Yeah. So yeah, with this appearance in the final, he becomes stands out alone. It's joint top appearances at the moment, but with this appearance in the World Cup final, hopefully if he gets
sorry to interject again. There's some stat that just come into my head now. So we had Messi that made his 1000th appearance. We had Giroud that became the all-time leading scorer in this World Cup. And Harry Kane had one kick to become England's top scorer. Sorry, I just had to get that. One kick. Idiot. Sorry, I have to get off my chest. Sorry, this stat I have to get off my chest.
No, you had to. You just had to.
What do you think, Jamal?
So here's the thing. Like, on a normal basis, like, my heart would be with Messi. I love Messi, and I would love for this to be his huge swan song, and but I look at the French side, and there's something about the French that is, they are physical, but they're also technical as well. And I'm always afraid of people that have both qualities in their locker. Like, you look at their defense now, they're playing with a makeshift right back in Koundé. Koundé is actually a centre back, right? So Koundé actually slots back into defense. They play 3. They allow Hernandez go forward more. Midfield is solid, but they have a guy who can break lines. Then you have Griezmann sitting behind Giroud and Mbappe to the side. And Giroud is, to me, someone compared him to Paolo Rossi in 1982. And I take that thing. He's that guy that is just lurking around. And if you make the mistake of giving him the space, he will score. Argentina don't have too many of that. They just have Alvarez he's a kid. Yeah, he's there. Messi is the one. So the bulk of the action is going to come through Messi. I can't see anyone else. But with France, you shut down Giroud. Mbappe is on his side. You shut down Mbappe. Dembele is on that side. You shut them down. Griezmann's coming through the hole. And then you got Tchouaméni that's got a shot on him. You got the other guy. His name is slipping my mind now. The one whose mom's his agent. That had caused all the trouble the last time, and now he's come through in this tournament. He plays for Juventus. I can see his face. I can't remember.
Rabiot.
The midfield player.
Rabiot.
Yeah. His mom's his agent. Yeah. Rabiot is there. Rabiot is made up with Deschamps. He's now playing how he should play. So France have weapons to score, and they also have weapons to defend. So it's like, it's in terms of like world-class players or seasoned players. France, I think, have more experience than Argentina. Argentina, I can't pull out how many guys have, like, the number of Champions League games in
world class. Yeah.
Talk less of the French squad. Yeah, it's a lot compared to these guys, and I would give it to them. Messi has so much more to do than France, and if you shut down one guy in France, the rest of the guys move. They move as a team. Argentina are a team fueling Messi, or Messi is fueling them. And that's my difference. So I actually see France winning in regular time, and I see them scoring 2 goals at least in regular time, 90 minutes. I don't know why. I just see it. And I think the first 20 minutes for me is always, I call it Alex Ferguson time.
Fergie time, yeah.
Stop Man United playing. Yeah, if you can stop Man United scoring in 20 minutes, you have a chance. If Argentina can stop France from blowing off in the first 20, then there's a chance. I think it's France.
Like, that was like the semi-final. As soon as Hernandez scored, it was night for Morocco, because I couldn't see them having enough to get back in it. You also make another good point. You make another good point, Chuma, in regards to the setup of the squad. You have World Cup winners and you have hungry, youthful players. That balance of been there, done it, and those ones that want to do it the first time for themselves. That's a very lethal balance to have in a team. Although, on the other hand, on the Argentinians, they've most probably won more recently as a squad than France have won, because they won the Copa America
last year.
with more or less the same squad. With more or less the same squad. So they know how to get over the line. They know the pressure of getting over the line with Messi as well. They've done that. So they still have that little bit of not advantage, but they have that in their locker as well. But I think the telling thing you said is that there's so many more weapons to France. There's weapons all over that pitch and in that 11.
That's big. That's
yeah, I mean,
man, you know. So it comes down to you.
It's a delicate balance we're doing here, right? I mean, I have no love for Argentina. I mean, so that's sort of that probably just sums it up for me, because I'm not a great fan of Mr. Messi either. So hey, I mean, not that I like CR7 either, but hey, it's just I'm not in that debate. You know, they just don't do anything for me. However, France have just got, like you said, they got too much talent. You know, the area of talent they have is just immense. You know, and they have this very, very strong winning mentality. You know, that is very, very difficult to shake off. You know, and a lot of the players that are so experienced, you know, they've played at the very, very top level. You know,
even the young ones as well.
Even the young ones.
Yeah,
so I think. I mean, I know
you
Messi
said they're young, but they've already won Champions Leagues.
This is it, you know. I mean, you have Coman on the bench. Exactly. I don't play him.
You know, they've already won leagues. They've already won La Ligas. They've already won Serie A.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I just think on
France,
tough match, but I'll go for a France win. You know, I'll go for a France win. And yeah, Hugo 90
minutes extra time of
another medal. So anyway, any which way we win, because if Hugo doesn't come with a medal, Cristiano Ronaldo comes with a medal. So yes, there will be one medal at the Hotspur way come Boxing Day.
Definitely.
Imagine Cristiano Romero coming back to the lane with a World Cup winners medal for only working part-time. I'm not going to forget this guy, yeah, for 3 months at that beginning of the season was saying his tight hamstring, my hamstring this, and then he was taking time off work. He turns up to the World Cup fully fit and ready to go. I thought, this guy is using us for David Lloyd, using our gym.
But the South American players the South Americans always do that. So I'm never quite surprised with those guys.
That's one thing about Argentina. Their country comes first. It's country before club.
Yeah, I hear Richarlison is injured as well, so it's
probably the only player who did it was Ozzy Ardiles, because Ozzy Ardiles has integrity. Ardiles wasn't country first. Ardiles was a good guy.
Just quickly, and I know this is maybe going a bit off topic, but we're gonna stay on Spurs, yeah? Who do you think has had the best World Cup out of the Spurs players?
In this World Cup?
Yeah, who can come home and say they've had a successful World Cup?
It's got to be Lloris. It's got to be Lloris. Because
Lloris hasn't kept a clean sheet though, has he?
He hasn't.
He hasn't what?
He has not.
No, apart from Morocco.
He's put up some amazing saves in this World Cup.
Oh yeah.
But he's dropped some stuff. He's done things. He's done some Lloris things.
I think it's been pretty solid actually, Lloris.
Yeah, he's a 7. I'll give him a 7. I think
it's been pretty solid.
But
We'll set up a show and do one on Spurs players on the World Cup. You know. Yes, Richarlison had a good World Cup as well. He had a really good World Cup. So yeah,
Richarlison changed minds. Richarlison
blew my mind. Exactly, I was like, this guy, he played him in the wrong position.
Spurs were fleeced. Now these same guys are telling me Real Madrid might come and pick him up. I said, oh wait, from being second-hand hand-me-down, he's now going to Real Madrid, right? He's going to leave Spurs. Right. Spurs are not big enough for him. Before he wasn't big enough for Spurs. So I think he's changed. Richarlison his CV is gone up.
Yeah, but one blessing that we have General Levy. He knows how to do business with Real Madrid. We're not selling him cheap. If he's going to Real Madrid, we know we're getting full money for him, full cash. So if he wants to go, goodbye. But we're waiting our money for him.
I think Richarlison, Hugo, Richarlison, and Perisic were really good.
Perisic was brilliant. Perisic was I think
Perisic
Perisic
is
was my
playing left
favorite
wing. He's not
two-way
even
player.
playing wing back.
Yeah, he was two-way. He was playing, but the thing is, his defensive work in this World Cup was just as good as his attacking work in this World. His two-way play was brilliant. He was one of the best two-way players for me.
Yeah. So I think overall, in terms of who's done really well in this World Cup, I think you want to go for Perisic, right? Is that what we're saying? Perisic top one, and then possibly
I'll go Perisic slightly ahead of Lloris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Harry Kane made 3 assists and scored a goal and 2 goals. What happened to Harry Kane?
Well, he did score, but
Harry Kane keeps insisting on playing this deep role, which I'm not very happy about. I don't like it. I think he should have demanded a more creative midfielder so he could stay up top. He's now embracing this thing too much, in my opinion. I think he should still stay as a striker. He would score more goals if he stayed up top and forced his teams to get creative player. Like Spurs could avoid creative. If he said I'm not doing, but he keeps dropping deep, and I think he's taking over his life now. He's become more Sheringham than Shearer.
And I will say the Spurs moment for the World Cup, for me personally, the Spurs moment for the World Cup was Heung-min Son's clutch moment against the Spanish. When he took it the length of the field and he found that money ball when nobody else saw it and put it through to send them through to the last 16. I thought that was so clutch by Song that I give him, that's the moment, the Spurs moment of the World Cup for me, so far.
I would say the overhead from Richarlison, because that ball was behind him.
I forgot about that one. To open up
ball was behind him. It was Vinny sold him a bad pass that looked good at the end. His first touch that raised that ball, and the turn, to me, that is.
For me,
and to
that
believe
has
that
been the goal of the tournament. Unless somebody scores a superb goal in the World Cup final, for me, that's the goal of the World Cup.
That's it.
You know, that's the goal.
It was a good goal, but I'm just thinking for what it meant in that moment for Son. For me personally, it's do or die. It's you go home or you deliver, and Son delivered in that moment. That was the first goal of the tournament.
It was a world-class moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I can't argue. I can't argue with Crazy Charlie's goal.
Yeah. So in terms of how good the goal looks, I thought, Richarlison's goal has to be not only the goal of the World Cup, Spurs goal. I've seen so far in this World Cup, right? But in terms of importance, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, the Son goal, yes, obviously because it meant a lot to the team. It meant them the difference between qualifying and going home. So that was really, really crucial. You know, so that was also very, very, fantastic as well.
Yeah, the most important one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's between those two. But I think if we're gonna choose a goal of the tournament this year, it's probably gonna be that Richarlison goal. It has to be. You know, I don't see any other goal. Even close. You know, that one free kick against Mexico played, but
even though to be fair, Richarlison is top 3, because even that goal in the game, the 4-0, the 4-1 against Korea, where he brings it up, he heads it.
Oh, 1-2.
Only Spurs fans knew he was going to do that thing with juggling the ball, and I said, "Oh, he's doing a Richie. He's doing a Richie show."
That was
hopefully they don't kick him.
You know?
We've seen that play before. As Spurs boys, we've seen that play before.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's top 3. Him, Son in between, and that third goal against Korea. Those are the 3 goals I think for Spurs. I loved very much.
Good call.
Yeah, looking forward to them coming back. You know, and playing for Spurs and doing
Sunday, 3 p.m. GMT, World Cup final, France against Argentina in Doha. You want to say something, Yinka?
One last thing, quickly. Just give me the team. Who wins 3rd and 4th place? Croatia versus Morocco.
It's got to Morocco. Come on. What are we talking about here? Morocco. Come on. What
Come on, Morocco. Africa. Come on.
Morocco. I'm going to Morocco.
Good. That's done. So good. You can close now, sir. We're all in agreement. We're all in agreement.
Yeah, exactly. It's got Morocco on that one. Anything else will be just
strategy,
classic injustice, you know. You know, but guys, it's been absolutely amazing having you guys. As
Great
always,
to see you
you've
guys.
been absolutely superb and fantastic. On this note, we go, come on, you Spurs. Thank you, guys.
Come on, the Spurs.